Alright then, hello everybody on YouTube, this is the EpicGamingGuru, and boy do I have, not the best possible news actually. This is probably some of the worst news I've ever seen. In fact, it might be the worst dog shit news that I've ever had to come across throughout this entire year, and that says a lot considering that we are only about nearly 29 days, 19 days away from a new year. I'm just gonna cut to the chase here, and I'm gonna be talking about a lot of stuff that involves YouTube with their whole AI business and whatnot, and I have to be 100% honest, as a small creator, even I hate this bullshit. I honestly cannot find a single human being that I know that actually likes AI slop. Not a single human being that I have spoken to likes AI. They say themselves that they'd rather have been watching something that was actually made by a human being instead of something that was just made through a machine. And that kind of statement is pretty much how I stand against AI as well. Like, AI just doesn't feel like it's ready to be used the way it's supposed to be used, or at least it's not used the same way a creator that would, I guess the origin creators of AIs thought that it would be used. I mean, no one's going to be using AI without taking full advantage of it for both right or wrong reasons, which is what this video is going to discuss when it comes to YouTube. It's bad enough that YouTube basically allows advertisers to be having porn on their entire platform, let alone the fact that they have AI generated advertisers that are also advertising a lot of questionable means and whatnot through their actual platform. But hey, apparently if it pays them money, it's not breaking TOS. That's just one little thing that I'm going to discuss here in this entire video. I'm here to also talk about the fact that they also allowed an entire AI to handle their entire moderation throughout the entire platform. Lucky for me, I only have to say entire platform a couple of times, but I am not joking around when I say that. Multiple people have actually had their channels either terminated or had warnings or even false copyright strike. Oh, wait a minute, that has something to do with YouTube not even being able to handle copyright strikes while on their platform either. Not even making that up. They still have that problem even years later on. But anyways, YouTube is relying way too heavily on AI at this point. Like, it's actually getting to a scary degree as to how much YouTube is relying on AI. I don't understand why YouTube decided to go ahead and bend the knee towards AI to a point where they even allowed AI to become part of their moderation is still beyond my, I can't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't want to understand it. I just don't want AI to ever have moderation controls. I don't even think of any other single company out there who's crazy enough to actually allow a goddamn literal program to take over an entire platform and moderate it. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's even more disturbing knowing that YouTube is a multi-billion-dollar company and they still rely on AI for their moderation. Like, are you kidding me? Billions of dollars. Billions of dollars earned by this platform per year, and they somehow find ways to make it seem less human as possible. They are literally taking the you out of YouTube. And despite people having major concerns and complaints about YouTube having AI into their moderation and being able to monitor and control pretty much a majority of the channels on YouTube, they came up with some of the worst responses I've ever seen out of any company that I know thus far. CEO owner of YouTube, Neil Mohan, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, has decided to say that AI will enable a new class of creators who previously lacked the skills or equipment. When he said all this, I thought that I was honestly looking at AI Hitler at this point. AI generated content is not even favored on YouTube. It's barely even favored on any other platform that I've seen. Like, every time AI is even mentioned in most platforms that I've heard and seen from most people who are literally trying to create stuff on that platform themselves, they hate it. A lot of people hate AI generated content because it's just not really created by a person now, is it? You're just telling a machine what to do, and it basically will just generate as much AI slop as you want it to make. To understand how much AI generated content was even made on YouTube, let alone other platforms, like, I understand that YouTube is not the only platform that is suffering from this unbelievable amount of goddamn cringe of AI slop. There's other platforms that could also be at fault when it comes to that, but I have to be honest here, the only reason the terminology AI slop even exists is because of the fact that people decided to take advantage of how good the AI generators were, and they decided to go ahead and just make as much fake information worth of content they could in order to be able to boost their numbers, get advertisement pay, or at least some virtue of another to receive money from it. Now, I understand that the grind is hard, everybody, but if you are out there generating AI content in order to be able to even make a sum of money, are you even genuinely trying to become a content creator, or do you just want to pretend to be one? Like, that is a genuine question I'm going to ask now. The main reason I'm being so hard in asking that question is because there are people who are genuinely just trying to actually create content on YouTube and not needing to use any form of AI generators in order to make it. In fact, I'm one prime example of that. I'm a small content creator. I had to buy all my equipment. I had to work on all of the actual editing software that I normally use. And guess what? I had to be self-taught to do all that. That shows commitment. That's actually what makes a content creator, somebody who is willing to learn in order to be able to actually become one, not just rely on just AI slop in order to grow big. You don't even need some of the best equipment ever to be able to make it big on YouTube at this rate. Like, you just got to be pretty creative with what you have, and eventually you do grow on YouTube. Although it does take a little bit of understanding of what you want your content to be based out of, it's still possible to grow on YouTube even if you don't have the best equipment out there. I mean, for God's sakes, I was using recording software on a DDR3 PC. Let that sink in. But anyways, in spite of all that, YouTube actually decided to go ahead and make yet another post about this, despite the fact that everybody was very angry as to how they allowed AI to basically be part of their whole moderation and still allowed users to be banned, which have been actively removed of their bans since then, but it's still a scary thought that anybody could be banned on YouTube because of AI in general. So following up a follow-up post with this is that apparently Mohan has argued that the tech will revive YouTube's early area of enthusiastic amateurs. YouTube CEO says more AI moderation is coming despite creator backlash. Oh boy, that is not a good way to respond to people. But no, in all seriousness, this is not good news. Like, none of this is good news. This is by far some of the worst news that YouTube has pointed out there compared to many other things that have happened to them backlashly in the past. This is actually the first time I've ever seen that YouTube has basically doubled down super hard on something of a decision that they should never have made to begin with. I understand that YouTube obviously has full control and full moderation rights with their platform, but at the same time, it's like YouTube basically forgot about all the content creators that got them there to be in the position that they are in the first place, to be a huge major platform. Which, that in itself is very sad to even say or even hear from anybody, but that's the honest truth about YouTube. They've gotten so distant from creators that I still don't even understand what YouTube is trying to be as a platform at this rate. Like, it went from YouTube to now coming AI tube, and who knows what other kind of horrid things are going to happen with YouTube at this point, unless they do something to miraculously make the platform the way it was before, and that does not have anything to do with the use of AI. Interestingly enough though, after everything I said about YouTube's horrid decisions when it comes to AI moderation, there is something that I also found that is kind of terrifying, that leads me into a point of being very worried about YouTube's future, let alone many other different futures of other content creators on this platform. This is a post from the Google CEO Sundar Okay, I'm just going to say Sundar. I'm not going to try to pronounce that name. So apparently what Sundar says, which is the main CEO of Google, which Google practically owns a majority of YouTube at this rate, says the people will need to adapt. As he says, AI will impact jobs. It doesn't matter whether you want to be a teacher, a doctor, the people who will do well in those professions are people who learn how to use these AI tools. Okay, CEO Sundar, owner of Google, let me ask you something. I don't believe you. I 100% don't believe you, and here's why. Who in the right mind is going to trust a doctor who's literally gotten their license to do surgery or any form of medical professional training off a goddamn program off a PC? No one. Not a single human being would. I also love the fact that it even shows that apparently teachers need to understand how to use AI tools in order to be able to teach students now. The real sad part is that teachers and even college professors hate the idea of anybody using AI in their class because it basically just gives you everything you need as an answer for you. That's the real problem that people have with AI, especially in today's moderation. The reason why AI is so hated in teaching facilities or anywhere in a classroom or any form, especially in a college setting, that's even far worse, is because of the fact that you're basically not learning anything if you're just constantly using AI for all of your actual problems. I mean, there's no other way to look at it except for that. Like, I can't even think of any other worse scenario when it comes to AI. I mean, are you serious? Like, we're getting to a point where we're just using AI to do everything for us, and that's actually incredibly sad. But I mean, I guess that's just the future we're going into at this rate, and I mean, I wouldn't personally personally use AI for anything, but I guess to a certain degree, I can understand why people use it time to time, but it really shouldn't be the main case scenario for a lot of content creators. Like most people, I believe, can actually learn and do stuff with YouTube without the need of having any form of AI generators to basically make everything for them. But either way, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and just end this video from here. This is all just based off of my own personal opinion on things. I will go ahead and leave a lot of the information that I've made and used for this video down below in the description if you want to check that out. Comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video that much. It really does help channels like mine as well that are very small and slowly growing upwards. But either way, hope you all are having a fantastic day, and I'll see you all next time.